basically, what to know is that if Alchemixt beats Dart with a record of 2 wins, 1 loss, then we are going to have a tiebreaker between Alchemixt and Ekop. If anything else happens, we're done for the night.
So we'll just watch and we'll enjoy, and then we'll discuss later. It's gonna be fine, everybody.
Right.
Everything's gonna work out.
And I mean, you and I are done.
Hearthstone is gonna be fantastic.
And I mean, you and I are done for the night. There's still a special
you and me
event
are done. Yeah.
later on. Everyone should stick around for it. And everyone should definitely go check out HearthStats.net/league for all of the information about the Hearthstats League and how you guys, and me, Garrett, and Dills, we can all go sign up and join the Open League and play through the Grinders League to possibly qualify to move on to the Challengers League, which gives you the chance of getting into the next major Hearthstats tournament for cash money. So now we've got Alchemixt and Dart. Think Alchemixt will just go straight to that priest deck?
I mean, I think it's the smartest move. It's a good deck that's going to kind of play well against the field. The problem is if he ends up against...
He went with his Warlock, his Zoolock.
Okay. Oh, this is the Zoo.
Yeah.
We haven't even seen this deck yet either.
And then Dart's sticking with the Control Warrior, making me good and happy.
Well, he just played a game that was pretty intense with it, and he actually did get his only victory so far of the tournament with it. So it seems to me that that's the solid choice.
And to me, if I'm playing Control Warrior, I'm happy to see a Zoolock.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Zoo
doesn't scare you as a Control Warrior.
Definitely a favorable matchup. So
there are situations where a Zoo can scare you. Is when you get a really slow start. And Zoo just gets like all the 1-drops, and you can kind of just lose straight off. But
right, Unstable Goal has helped with that quite a bit because you get your taunt soaking up some damage, and when it dies, it applies a whirlwind effect. You're still all Control Warriors are still running the 1 extra whirlwind as well. So there's even ways you can deal with those crazy all 1-drop openings.
This is actually the kind of situation, though, right here. Like, you see the hand of Dart, and it's a little bit clunky. There's not a lot of the early want. You don't have the Armor Smiths. You do have 1 Acolyte, but you don't have the Cruel Taskmaster. There's just a lot of things missing right now. It's way too early for the Black Knight as well, and you're only going to be able to Black Knight something that gets Defender of Argus, so...
Right. Wait, isn't Alchemixt running Voidwalkers? Not that that's a good target for a Black Knight, but
that's not the target you want. You want to get something that got defended.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, is there anything else in this deck with taunt? And yeah, it's just Voidwalker, which is the opposite of Value Town.
Yeah. I also, speaking of Value Town, I want to point out that me and you do a podcast about Hearthstone. So people who in the chat don't know who we are, we do a podcast called The Anger Chicken. That is because we are perpetually ranked 25, at least according to Twitch chat. And if you are interested in Hearthstone content and you want it in your ear holes, you can check us out. Monday nights, we do it live. You can also find us on iTunes. It's pretty easy to find. Search a Hearthstone podcast. It's the #1 podcast on there. So pop right up.
Disclaimer, hosts are not actually ranked 25. All right.
Not anymore. I mean, I net deck. So
we're all there at some point. So looking at Dart's hand, it's still super funky. Didn't get much.
Not good.
Didn't get much out of his Acolyte of Pain, and I think he has to shield block here. You have to just dig and hope to kind of fix this clumsy hand that he has.
Well, if he's not going to shield block, his other option is armor up and pass, and that's terrible. So I think if you can get something like a whirlwind, then you're pretty stoked. But he just armors up and passes. Okay.
Dart throughout this entire series has just been going screw you, Dills. I don't care.
He does what he wants. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, whatever. It's his hot body.
The problem is that if you don't deal with something now and then you play your Sludge Belcher next turn, it's gonna be tougher and tougher for the Sludge Belcher to actually stick on the board and do what a Sludge Belcher does, which is soak up a lot of stuff.
Right.
So the more he lets this board get out of hand, just the harder it is for him to come back. And obviously, Warrior always has a Brawl, which could potentially bring you back into almost any game. So
yeah, which he unfortunately does not have in his hand because I would consider using it.
I would. It's a little early. I would use a Sludge Belcher first, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'd rather use it when there's the Doom Guard on hand or whatnot. But I mean, looking at his hand, Doesn't even have no whirlwind, no unstable ghoul.
He does
not wonderful.
always have the shield block, shield slam. So I mean, it's gain life and kill something. It's pretty nice, and it technically costs 1 card because you replace 1 card with the shield block.
Yes, yeah, it cycles a card. It's great. Love shield block.
So we're gonna see a Nerubian egg come out, and he does have 1 activator in his hand, but I'm sure in this deck he's got a ton more. So he's not really concerned with using the Abusive Sergeant here just to remove this Sludge Belcher, and he's just going to continue to push. I mean, when a zoo gets this kind of opening and you get nothing in your hand, I mean, armor up and pass on turn 4 really sets you back tempo wise. So this Despite might be able to get him back in the game a little bit because he can actually kill the Undertaker finally, and then on next turn he should be able to remove a bunch of stuff. He can also armor up. He's still not quite scared of death. There's only 5 damage on board, so.
Yep. And even popping his, activating the death rattle off of that Despite next turn doesn't even kill the egg, which would be the only downside.
Now you could life tap here, and then you could play Defender of Argus. I actually like though pushing for more damage and just playing the Argent Commander. It's got the bubble, so it's going to be tough to deal with. It's he's got the Despite out, and obviously the Despite can remove that bubble, but the Despite won't be able to just outright kill it. And if you do play the Defender, you kind of open yourself up to Black Knight potentially bringing the Control Warrior back into this game. And we know that he does have Black Knight in the deck, or in his hand, actually. And
you and Alchemixt, man, you were apparently synced up for this series because that's exactly what he does.
I mean, I play a lot of Zoo too, because I net deck and I'm ranked 25. All right, so he will be able to get rid of several things here. I don't think this does enough. He's still in a really, really hairy situation. He does draw a card, obviously, with the Acolyte, but there's going to be 5 damage still left on board at the end of this turn. So, and he's going to be sitting at 9. So something like a Soulfire just wins the game.
That's true. It's just fun. It's funny that he had the Zulak from Alchemixt had the exact kind of opening that you were discussing at the very beginning of this game.
Yeah.
Saying, well, this is how it can go really south for a Control Warrior real fast. So there's a Shield Slam finally being used to get rid of that Argent Commander there. That egg just cannot seem to pop itself.
No, but he's going to be able to Defender it now, so there's no stopping it at this point.
No, so he's thinking.
I think you go ahead and just empty your hand here. I mean, the life tap doesn't do too much, so you go ahead and just get another minion on board with the Flame It.
Yeah, but now you can finally start.
And then you just continue swinging for face, honestly.
Right. Got him so low. Yes, he's armoring up, but it doesn't matter. You're just winning the race.
A Brawl is actually potentially a bit of a comeback, though, because Brawl would remove everything but maybe a 4/4 and 1 other minion. So, and with 3 mana left, maybe you could have like a War Axe or something. I'm not exactly sure what's in his hand yet.
Right, yeah, I'd like to know that as well. And he gets to draw the extra card, which is good. I guess he has to kill the egg.
Well, there's no other choice at this point, yeah.
Man, execute.
There's the Brawl.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right, there you go.
That's actually the best case scenario, is that he's actually able to play the Brawl after popping the egg. And just the Acolyte
look at
wins.
that,
Holy
that cheer
crap.
of joy from Dart.
So Dart might be back. Dart might be back. Oh my God.
That was his brawls. The brawl
That's
RNG.
2 brawls now. That's been insane for him.
Yeah, the brawl RNG has just been with him tonight. They've always seemed to have gone in his favor, as well as his Ragnaros RNG. It's even though it has yet to pull him back into a game, it always hits the best target.
So I was once told by Kit Kats that Armorsmith always wins, but apparently Acolyte always wins as well.
And we get to see the Black Knight used on the Voidwalker.
You were talking about the value
you get
out of that play.
Yeah. The highest of value.
This is pretty nice, though, because he draws armor here. He could take a card off, but I think I like just keeping an extra minion on board to be able to deal with whatever comes out later. So he uses the Armorsmith instead. And
I agree with
actually,
that.
I mean, now a Doomguard into a Soulfire is pretty much the only way he's going to lose this game.
And that's not what
And Alchemist is not looking happy.
No, he's. Yeah, Knife Juggler and Hunter Creeper does not help him at all. Yeah. Wow. You call it, Dills. A Brawl would just sweep this because, I mean, Alchemist was down no cards in hand.
Well, and Zoo's always down to no cards in hand, but the fact is they draw 2 every turn. Usually they need to have 2 or 3 minions on board, though, to make that.
Exactly.
You know?
So you wipe your whole board of 5 or more minions. It's just...
Hitting face actually wasn't the worst thing there because it would have given armor if it hit anything else. It would have given a card if it hit the Acolyte. Yeah.
Best possible scenario for the...
Actually not bad.
For the juggled knife there.
The problem here is that now he's going to be able to clear the Juggler. He can just leave the 2/1 if he wants to. Ooh, kill the Juggler before you do this. Or actually, he's going to kill the Juggler or the Creeper first to gain armor. He's going to let him chuck knives at him. He's like, yo, dude, chuck knives at me. I don't care. That's armor for me.
That's some next level stuff right there.
Next level play. Good stuff. He's laughing about it, too. He's just
and he's going to Kel'Thuzad, so he's going to get that armor smith back when he trades for the Knife Juggler. Oh, really? No? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter when you play it.
It's played. Shows how much I run Kel'Thuzad in my decks.
No, I never run Kel'Thuzad. Okay,
Alchemist concedes. What a game.
He doesn't want to do it anymore, boys. He's done.
Wow.
He's tapping out. Put him in the sharpshooter. He's done. All right, so that's a 1-0 now for Dart, which kind of opens up some possibilities here. We were talking about there might be some tiebreakers, and Dart's playing spoiler now.
Yeah, well, we only have the tiebreaker if Alchemist comes back and wins 2.
Dart is the Arizona Diamondbacks against my San Francisco Giants tonight, trying to play spoiler. Unfortunately, they didn't do it. Or fortunately, they didn't do it. But yeah,
you get that real sports out of here, man. I don't want to hear about that.
It's not. This is also real sports. Just one is esports. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I use the word real when I should be using traditional.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Yeah. Strong dude sports. Although, there's a few strong dudes in the Hearthstone community.
Exactly. Everyone tuning in, make sure to tweet at HearthStats on Twitter. Get your tweets up on the stream during the matches. Let's get this thing trending. I mean, these have been some wonderful, wonderful games tonight.
No, there's been a lot of really good ones, and I mean, we had actually 2 or 3 really epic control versus control matchups tonight already, and there's more to come. I mean, this tournament is just getting going.
After our last set, I was just so jacked up, when I ran out to refill my water during the break. I just had to high five somebody, so I was just like, Katie, I know you're not watching, nor are you interested, but give me a high five.
Just a random high five to the fiance?
Yep.
All right.
She's just like, all right. So it looks like Alchemixt is going to switch to that priest that has been doing very well for him for this entire tournament, going into this next game against Dart. So we're going to see.
That's rough. What's his third deck? I don't remember what his third deck possibility is, but the priest deck is not necessarily the deck you want to go. Oh, it's a hunter deck.
It's hunter.
So he really doesn't have any good matchup against control warrior. So yeah, I'm okay with this priest deck. I mean, he's going to need to get the good early drops and hope that Brawl never gets drawn, basically.
Exactly. It kind of like what you were describing for the Zulok. He needs to have that perfect opening again for this tempo priest if he wants to have a chance. He really needs to get those ridiculously large buffed up Undertakers. He needs some turn 1 Undertakers. And hopefully he goes first, because I've always found that goes better for these tempo priest decks.
Well, it does, unless you get something like Undertaker Zombie Chow.
Right, and then you definitely want to coin in.
And then you love going second. But I mean, either way, whether he chooses Hunter or this priest deck, it's going to be rough going. I mean, Dart didn't do well with his own Hunter deck, and he's done pretty well with his control warrior deck. So, he's just kind of going with what works at this point. And he's having a great time there in his room, by the way. I don't know what's going on, but I
would have
enjoy that.
I would have the largest grin on my face if I came back from that previous game. So getting
Dart likes to party. I don't know if you guys know that.
It looks like we're getting a full-on mulligan from both players here. Alchemixt thinking about keeping the loot hoarder. He decides to.
I disagree with keeping the loot hoarder because I really want Undertakers, and
agreed. Knowing the matchup,
I kind of go balls out to try to get them.
That's what I would have done as well, but he still ends up
Zombie Chow. Bang, deal with that
on the board. So
loot hoarder does not answer Zombie Chow.
No, but
Zombie Chow does. Yeah,
actually, it doesn't. They can't kill each other.
But I mean, it trades equally in the end, you know.
Right, and Alchemixt, I guess, if he didn't have a fiery war axe, it would have worked okay because Alchemixt can heal his Zombie Chow back up. And he goes ahead and gets back to 30 because of the death rattle. So let's see what he pulls, or if he just has a turn 3 Thought Steal, or he just loot hoarder power.
Sucks is loot hoarder power word shield just dies to the weapon as well. So I mean, it's kind of what you have to do. You force out the second charge of the weapon. You know, it doesn't die to the Zombie Chow. So
I mean, you're cycling cards, and he does have quite the funky hand. So I'm not.
It was his only option. It was. I mean, outside of that, you're doing Thought Steal, and you're basically giving away all of the tempo. Now, one thing that can bring Alchemixt back into this game if he does fall behind is the Thought Steal. Thought Steal can be a card that really swings games. So a lot of people tend to talk about how it's pretty bad. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's actually really good. So it's just, you know, you never know. I kind of prefer not to play it in a deck like this because I'd rather just play the cards that I have. You know, I mean, they all go together.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
look at this. He got a Shield Slam. He can't play that. That's literally unplayable. Right. Unless he Thought Steals down the line something that's able to draw him armor. So
the Execute, on the other hand, is a good pull.
Execute's fine, yeah.
Oh man, Shield Slam.
But this is inherently why Thought Steal is just kind of a risky card. It can be amazing, but in this situation, I mean, he got Shield Slam, a completely unusable card. It's like getting a deadly poison or something when you're playing a rogue. You just can't use it.
Oh, I'm with you there. I mean, you know me and how I like to play. I prefer consistency, and Thought Steal is the farthest thing away from consistent. But I have seen some amazing plays with it as well.
So now he's forced to just throw a Belcher to the wind here. This Belcher's just going to die.
Yeah,
it's not going to do anything.
It won't take anything with it.
No, and he's actually even able to. He's going to actually be able to get full value off of this. This Acolyte here because he's going to be able to Taskmaster it, kill a 1/2, and
he'll draw 2 cards off of that Acolyte.
And then he'll have it still on board to draw the 3rd card at some point.
As a 3/1 too, so potential for trading as well against any additional minions of Alchemixt. There it is. Pulls another Fiery War Axe. Dart's looking really good right now.
Now, there's a couple options here. You could Zombie Chow arm yourself with a weapon. I actually think I like that better because you don't need life right now. So I'd like to just arm the weapon and have the potential mana to use later. Plus, you've got 2 weapons in hand, so you want to kind of get them out of your hand.
Yeah, he decided to go for the armor up, though.
I mean, I'm not mad at that, but I just think that arming the weapon is a little bit better.
Right. Yeah. Looking at his hand right now, his turn 6 is going to be a little awkward regardless. Doesn't really have a good way to maximize all of his mana.
So Alchemist is now looking at this board, and all he can really do is just, unless he drew something like a circle, all he can really do here is just put minions out and hope that somehow the trades end up working in his favor at some point in the future.
Yeah. Circle would bring him right back into this.
Yeah, because if he could actually get a circle, he could actually clear the entire board.
And then heal himself back to full because of the death rattles of the Zombie Chows.
That is true. Yeah.
That would be a ridiculous swing. And they have happened almost every game tonight. Ridiculous swings.
Are you predicting a ridiculous swing right now?
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it because it won't happen. I'm not going to say that Alchemist will top deck a circle next turn, but
now that he has Alexstrasza in hand, he actually doesn't really care about face damage anymore. He's just going to go ahead and start clearing minions because he'll be able to, at some point, do damage with that Alchemixt if he needs to.
She's a delightful insurance policy.
Although when you got nothing else to do, you swing in for 4.
And that's exactly what he did. Now looking at Alchemix's hand again. Oh, he got a Thought Steal. Oh, what did he pull? Oh, Cabal Pro. Okay. Well.
You can steal a zombie chow. Oh my god. It's not good. It's just not good. Oh. I think he has to just play the Sylvanas and hope that something good happens here.
I might. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking Cabal Priest steal the 2/3 zombie chow and hope that he doesn't.
Yeah, 2/3 that at least trades.
And hope that hope that Dart doesn't kill it, and that you might be able to get your Soul Priest out the following turn. But it looks like he's going to go for the.
It's a slightly bigger tempo swing because you put a 4/5 out and a 2/3, and you take a 2/3 away. The problem here, though, is that weapon right there is going to kill the 4/5 pretty easily. At least this way with the Sylvanas, it might kill the 5/5, but it's actually going to take something at the same time.
That's what he decided to do.
Run his entire board into it.
Gaara on Twitter saying, I lost to Trump in Deck Wars today, but did really well in the Hearthstats Invitational. I'm moving on as first seed. Congratulations to Gaara.
Does he already know that?
I don't. Why would they put it up?
Spoiler alert.
He's just calling it, man.
The problem here is you run all your stuff in and you're just giving health back to the priest. Although you don't really care because you also do have Alchemixt, so health, whatever.
Kind
of Sludge Belcher going, get a little more armor.
Now, if you're Alchemixt, though, you got to be thinking, oh, he's got Alchemixt. He's doing that willingly.
Well, either that or you're just thinking he just. Okay, so again, this is the poker aspect where does he read that correctly? Does he understand what that actually means?
Well, he's at full health. He had armor. There was no reason he couldn't have just used the weapon on Sylvanas and hoped.
But he would have given something up, though.
Right, but he would have if he'd given up the damaged zombie chow or even the non-damaged zombie chow.
Yeah, no, that's true.
All it is.
So he actually did get a way to enable that shield slam. Wow. So Thought Steal's fine. Thought Steal's totally good. He also got a brawl, by the way, which is pretty good.
Yep, that's great. I love all the smiles between the players tonight. The absurdity of some of the things that have been happening are not lost on them. So what do you do now if you're Dart?
There's not really any super great plays here, so I think you swing in with this, and then you attack face, and then the Whirlwind.
Yeah, because you definitely don't want to waste
finishes things off. And then you just go ahead and put out like a Kel'Thuzad. Kel'Thuzad will get you back your little 1/2. That is exactly what he does.
Fortunately, Alchemixt does have the Shadow Word Pain in his hand.
He does, so he'll be able to deal with that, and he can actually also play. He has enough mana to play a Soul Priest and kill the 1/2 as well. He can also steal it if he wants.
Yeah, you could take it with the Shadow Priest.
There's some better targets. There's Acolytes of Pain. There's Armor Smiths, but they're all fine.
Yeah, and they're not in Dart's hand at the moment, so that was, given everything we can see right now, I think that's the best play to be made. So out comes Alchemixt.
This is why he didn't care about the health, because
that Shadow Word Pain's been used up.
That's a very good point, actually. Yeah, once he used that on the Kel'Thuzad, it kind of opened the door for Alchemixt.
Exactly. Gotta love that hidden dice text on Kel'Thuzad.
Sludge Belcher will prevent a lot of damage from coming through for a little while, but he just doesn't really have any way to deal with this 8/8 at this point. And there's going to be another 8/8 on board pretty soon. Ragnaros is in hand.
Oh, and there's a shield slam, so
okay.
And he has a shield block.
So I think that's pretty good. You can actually steal something pretty decent here by shield slamming your own Sylvanas. If you want to. I mean, that's an option. So the other option here is to do something like Fiery War Axe off the 1/2, Shield Block, Shield Slam off the 3/5. If he kills the 1/2 though, all 3 of the remaining minions are pretty value. So I think I might just go for that.
Yeah,
He's not going to. He's just going to opt for killing some stuff off here.
I was about to say, it's kind of fallen into that the good problem you frequently have when playing Control Warrior. I have too many options.
Yeah. But this is why actually playing Control Warrior, while it might feel like it's kind of an easy deck to play, like, oh, just do whatever I want to do, and it's always going to be good. It's not always good. There's always, like, one line of play can lead you down a really bad path at some point. So,
right. So what do you do? He got a Northshire Cleric.
Northshire Cleric is now totally useless once the Soul Priest hits the board. But he is able to deal with the 8/8, and now he can swing in for a little bit of damage. Sylvanas won't be able to steal anything for the foreseeable future. It's going to be at least 1 or 2 turns before he can actually do something with it.
You think the Fire Lord's coming out next turn?
Yeah. I mean, it makes a lot of sense at this point. There's a lot of good targets. I mean, he can kill the 5/5, or kill the 1/5 with his 5/5. I don't really see a better turn. Just do this armor up, kill the 1/5. Whatever else it kills is going to be fine. I actually swing in for this 3 damage just to the face because I have Death Spite in my hand now. And it looks like I'm not going to have enough mana to do anything else next turn anyway besides play Death Spite.
He decides to hold on to it. If it had hit the Soul Priest, there would be at least a chance for the Northshire Cleric to be somewhat useful. But
wow, this is awkward too. He drew Circle of Healing now, and if he does that, he basically just gives away his minion. And Brawl 100% loses his minion because of Sylvanas.
This is a very
He's
tough
in a
place
tough
to be
spot.
in for
He's
Alchemixt.
in a very tough spot right now. Yeah.
I'm not sure what the right answer is here.
I mean, I think honestly it's to just put the Cleric down, Defender the 2.
But then next turn Dart gets to run Sylvanas into the now 4/6.
The now
Soul
4/6.
Priest.
Yeah, and steal something.
Take something.
True. But what else? What else does it do? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I might almost Brawl just in hopes of getting rid of the Ragnaros because I'd rather him have one Soul Priest that he can't really take full advantage of.
Okay, so he just goes ahead and just trades out. But the problem here is now he's playing, a bunch of little crappy minions that don't really do anything. Okay, he's gonna go for the 50-50. That's okay, actually. If he doesn't win this brawl, though, that's pretty much it. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the last ditch effort, and that's fine. I believe that's lethal because he can shield slam. Yep, that's lethal.
His own Grom. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's game. Dart takes the final series 2-0.
He can shield slam or whirlwind. He's got a lot of ways to activate this. All right, so Dart goes 2-0 against Alchemixt, and that means there is no tiebreaker, correct?
I believe that is the case.
Okay. So there you go. We actually have a winner.